Houston,
Lord.
Houston, we are venting something into space.
What a great movie.
Apollo 13 is one of the best movies I've ever seen, to be honest.
Classic.
It is.
It is.
Absolutely. So underrated.
Hey, Chuck, you mind pushing Mixbus 3 back up a couple clicks? I think my ears have bugged out. Thank you.
What, your hearing has gotten better?
Man, you know what?
Bourbon increases
Being
your
in
hearing?
Texas, I'm sure it's like this everywhere, but my allergies are just off the... Dude, I'm dizzy.
I hate.
My ears
Yeah.
are all
It's horrible.
discombobulated.
Horrible. I'm coughing, sniffing.
Just a barnyard animal over
Well,
here.
we've had
Drink
a lot
more
of,
bourbon.
Yeah, we've had a lot of crazy weather. We had 100 degrees last week, and then
did.
a cold front. I think it's the barometric pressure, just the shit weather going up and down this time of year.
Yeah.
Causes problems with my brain.
To hell with it.
It might be the estrogen, guys.
Is that a thing?
It's your thing.
Why is that?
Estrogen. Too much estrogen.
How's that my thing?
Because you're female.
Well, you know how they treat prostate cancer now that
That's
it kind of
right.
they give you estrogen.
Yes. Do they really?
Yes,
What?
Yes,
I
basically.
thought they
it's-
use radiation.
because testosterone is a prostate cancer feeder. It's hungry for testosterone. So if you get prostate cancer, they give you estrogen to stop your testosterone.
So
Yeah.
are they giving that to Joe Biden right
Yes.
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 now? A ton of estrogen?
It basically
So
castrates.
does it enhance
they really young?
the female
No.
characteristics if you do the
Well, just give you moobs.
Makes you feel pretty.
Makes you
I feel
Wow.
pretty.
Good Lord.
No,
All
but
right, see, second half. Obviously, the second half of the Dudes
Yeah.
Like Us podcast. It's
Yeah.
May 20th. We have a special guest tonight. We're going to be a little bit off the hook. I think we've drank a little bit more than we normally do,
little
right?
bit.
yes, we
Yeah,
do.
a little
and
bit.
we're drinking a powerhouse tonight.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's all right. Tomorrow's going to be a long day. But you know what? I'm having fun, and it's great conversations. We have, we're all great friends and digging the shit out of tonight. Chuck, thank you, Mr. Producer. Dudes Like Us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I am Jeff.
I'm Barry.
There you
Barry,
go.
we have a shitload of topics. The first half, we pretty much outlined your RD1 spirits.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into that. I still want to talk a little bit about the history. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm super
for sure.
glad that you're on the show.
I want to kind of talk about you because I think at the very end last time you talked about, what was it, dark tours?
Dark tours. Yes.
Why
yes,
don't you blend into that real quick before we start hitting some of these other ones?
All right, so I attended the James Beam Institute. It's a training session. It's a nerd training session, but we had a mortician from Louisville who came and did a talk about dark tours. And so what she does, it's very respectful. It's not an Instagram, smiley moment. It's taking people on a tour and maybe going to a cemetery or going to an area that had some strife or some death, and touching and feeling the tombstone, or like for me, William Tarr, I've got some of the artifacts of his house. So I want to do a tour where I'm talking about the history, but then we're touching and feeling that gold medal from 1904, or we're touching some of the things of the artifacts from William Tarr's homestead.
Yeah, nice.
And what it does is it creates this emotional connection. This moment, this memory moment where you're putting your emotions into it, and really you're creating something that you just can't create by just doing a tasting.
So they're at the new distillery is what you're kind of thinking of having it, or?
This is still in development.
Gotcha.
She's already doing this in Louisville and other
Right.
areas.
Hold
I'm
on. You're touching something.
Yep.
And is there like a transference of frequency? Or what is this? Is this an ether or?
I'm not really one to believe in ghosts, although I do believe I am possessed by some distiller from the 1800s. I do believe that there has been some kind of possession, because there's no way that what we've accomplished that would have happened without supernatural interference.
Really? You believe that?
I believe it.
You're
I
not
believe
kidding around.
I'm not. I've said it several times, but I
Well,
think
reincarnation can be a real thing. It's out there.
yeah.
People.
Interesting.
There are kids that have been interviewed that are 5 or 6 years old that should not have any knowledge of certain things that they have knowledge of, and
Or they know like a second language.
that being one of them.
It's like,
something
where'd that
So
come from?
Yeah, that's weird how the brain works. You also hear about these people who get hit in the head, and all of a sudden they'll get an accent, like an English accent.
Because they're dredging up an old life.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what
Give
causes
me a
that.
bourbon, I'll have a New York accent, man.
Yes.
So
Give me a
Yo.
couple, I'll do Anakin from Hey, it's tantalizing. I'll do the guy from Star Wars.
No, that's,
Yeah.
that's Bill
Please.
Cosby.
Yeah, don't be that guy.
Oh no.
Jello pudding pop.
Yeah, don't be either of those.
Right.
If you can choose, don't be either of those.
All right, so Barry, you were possessed.
Who's the guy that's possessing you then?
I'm not sure. It's either William Tarr, it's McGibbon. Actually, one of my descendants had a gold medal that distilled back in the 1800s. So I don't know. I think that there is some plausibility that I could be possessed.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, possessed sounds very. That's influenced.
Sounds nefarious.
How about influenced?
How about influence?
Not really
Ooh,
possessed.
man.
Yeah.
'Cause that means it's taking you over in an evil kind of way.
Yeah, and my head doesn't rotate, you know.
Right. You don't vomit on everybody. right?
No.
Pea soup.
No. I
That's
might
good.
burp, but
Okay. Well, we all do that.
There is no Zool here, only Barry.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Oh.
my goodness. Okay. All right. So
Well, I think that's very cool because I've seen some things. I'm not going to say it's the same, but I know over in England they'll have like the Jack the Ripper tours,
ooh.
where you go to where it's a Whitechapel where he kind of did his thing, and
that's dark.
Yeah, they have these tours where all the ladies were found and all that stuff. So I know
That's so creepy.
it is.
That is really
It is.
dark.
Yeah.
You're celebrating the life of a serial killer. I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Well, but what you're doing is you're experiencing something that it's creating this connection, this emotional connection,
Yeah.
and positive or negative. I mean, I think that it's you're kind of living in that moment.
Sure.
You know, so
Yeah.
so I think that when you look at enhancing an experience and you bring emotion into it, all bets are off. Yeah, you could have some people that really connect with that kind of a tour.
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, I think it just adds a whole different dimension. Not everyone's going to want to do it.
You know, you're making me think. You know how it's like Universal Studios
Yeah.
and all those they create an experience. How could someone like you in your distillery create this is what it was like to make bourbon back in 1860?
That could definitely happen.
How could you do that?
Man, I tell you what, I'm
How cool would that be?
I'm thinking. How cool would that be? Absolutely.
That would be super, super cool.
Yeah.
You'd have to get some really good thespians to work and play the part of
Wait.
No,
Yeah,
Thespians.
Thespians.
okay.
Thespians.
actors.
Sorry.
Yeah, actors. Yeah.
Actors,
Yeah,
because
Chuck gets confused.
Yeah,
to sell the story, right? Because even the Jack the Ripper, the footage I see, these people are very dramatic and telling the story
Right.
and everything, and these people
Right.
are getting all
Oh
into
no!
it.
They're wearing the costumes and they're
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
they're acting and
Yep.
they're
Yeah.
doing like think about that. Would that work? Would that be something you could do?
One of the things that I'm doing, and I've done this already. Y'all have heard of the Whiskey Crusaders here
No.
in Dallas?
I haven't.
It's a social club that is the only private social club that has a liquor license, and it's here in Dallas.
Okay.
Last year, I did a Repeal Day event where we're all dressing up in 1920s garb.
Dude.
Yes.
Like Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, exactly. But the same thing is we're talking about that history of prohibition. You know, we're
Yeah.
talking about the cocktail culture. You know how people responded differently to underground speakeasies. I'm doing the same thing in Atlanta on June 28th on a Saturday down in Atlanta at the Red Phone Booth Speakeasy.
How super cool.
Doing
is
the
that?
same thing. And so what I want to do is I want to do this kind of dinner theater where we're all kind of in character. You know, we're all in character.
Super cool.
I mean, how much fun would that
it
be?
would be cool.
Yeah.
And do a murder mystery?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The murder of bourbon.
Oh,
What if the alter ego comes out
Yeah, William Tarr.
Yeah.
Boy, I say, boy.
That boy, I say, boy, that boy's about as nervous as a
Leghorn
cat with
just
a
shut up.
50-foot tail in a room full of rocket chairs.
Okay, yeah.
It's
no.
Beauregard.
Pay attention when I'm talking to you, boy. I say I'm going to take you out to the woods and learn you about scouting and woodcraft.
Wow.
That's that foghorn leghorn.
Yeah. You're leading him away from this
Yes.
idea right now.
Yeah,
That'd be
you know,
really
it's fun,
cool,
though.
actually.
That would be fun.
They had in downtown Frisco, they had a church that was converted to a restaurant, and I don't even know what it
It
is.
was called the Loft. It was the restaurant.
Yeah, they had on Saturdays or Sunday nights, they had
Like the Abbey?
the Mystery
The Abbey.
Theater.
That's what
yeah.
it was. The Abbey.
Yes, exactly. They had Mystery Theater, and they would have they'd have people go in there, and they would act out, and you'd
Mystery-
have dinner. And
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
no, that's funny. No, what is it when you sit and have dinner and there's people that act in front of you? What do they call that? Is
Weird.
A dinner
Dinner
theater.
theater.
Dinner theater.
Yeah.
Dinner
Yeah.
theater.
Whatever.
Dinner
It wasn't
theater.
like a play. It was kind of like a something you would participate in for
Yeah.
a mystery.
Like a popcorn theater type?
I don't know.
Absolutely. No, I mean,
Yeah, but
it's like a little play. They have the people that work there have their character parts, and they act out a. No, is it? Oh, here we go. This is Whiskey Crusaders.
Oh, look
Wow.
at that. Yeah.
Nice. Why
I'm gonna get
why
this
do we
thing
not
carried.
know about any of
You,
this
you
stuff?
have to know about this. There's over I don't know how many whiskeys they have, but all kinds of whiskeys. They probably have 4,000 or 5,000 different whiskeys there.
We're getting close.
Yeah, we're
Hold on, go back up.
you
I want
gotta
Monk.
pump your numbers.
I
up.
like Monk Whiskey Quest. That's what I want.
Because
Yeah.
it's $20.
Yeah, well, that's not why, but that looks cool. What do they do there?
As whiskey is not their cup of tea. That's
It's
not
for
us.
spouses.
Oh,
Would like to attend.
Screw
Oh.
that.
Yeah, yep,
Wah,
yep.
wah.
While
No.
the real men go and play, that's for the spouses. You know? It says right there, for spouses.
Yeah, never mind. Wow.
What a spouse.
What a spouse. What a spouse.
Hey, man.
That's funny.
Just passing it through. All right, so we had do we have the theme for Cheers queued?
Oh,
Get it? Yeah.
Yeah, we should. We should
Man.
raise a glass to this gentleman.
yes.
I'll tell you what,
Yes.
this guy, is it Norm Peterson? Is that his name?
Norm
Or,
Peterson.
or is that a
That's his
character?
character.
That's his
Yeah,
character.
what's
Oh,
his-
yeah. No.
What's his real name?
George
George
Wendt.
Wendt.
George Wendt. So, you know, we all grew up with Cheers, right?
Yeah.
How about a montage of Norm? Can you find
Oh,
that
yeah,
for me?
I got that too. So
Yeah,
let me-
yeah.
let
Look
me-
that up. Look at that. Let's do a montage
Let's
of
get
Norm.
let's get the song going here first.
Okay.
Turn that up a little bit. Dude, totally remember this song. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers
Cheers to Norm.
to Norm.
And Cliff Clavin.
Awesome.
In the postal service about 15 years.
You do that very, very well, by the way. I was listening to the last podcast, and we were talking about Cheers because we were talking about sitcoms. Golly, you got that down. Wow, that's loud.
What do you know? Not enough. Afternoon, everybody.
What is that noise?
That's Chuck.
I heard of that stuff.
Chuck.
Chuck, stop touching yourself.
I like it. Afternoon, everybody.
All right. Well, that's Norm walking in for the 10th time.
Cut the small talk.
He's in good shape there.
Oh, so that's what this is.
Yeah, but he always had.
How's life treating you, Norm? I got just ran over its dog.
Yeah, he always had something.
Norman?
Gentlemen, start your
Norman.
taps. Afternoon, everybody.
I didn't realize this was a thing. So every time he walks in the bar, he's got a different gesture.
Yes.
Bed with his wife.
He had a one-liner every time.
Afternoon, everybody.
Norman?
How's life, Norm? Not for the squeamish, Coach.
I never realized that.
Yes.
You were 12 at the time.
That was his
Daddy's
entrance.
rich and Mama good looking.
His entrance.
Afternoon, everybody.
Oh,
Norman?
He's getting big.
My nipples. It's freezing out. Afternoon, everybody.
All right. Good stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what. Cheers cheers to his life and
Yeah.
what he did, and he's a lot of fun. Cheers, guys. Here.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers to Norm.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
A little bit of a different thing. I don't think we've ever cheered. Have we cheered somebody on this?
I believe we have.
I think we have.
Val
Very-
Kilmer, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh my God!
I think we did.
Please don't cheer me.
Okay. Wow.
Too soon.
So
Oh.
it may be.
You guys are jerks.
I don't think it's ever not going to be too soon.
Yeah, I almost didn't put that in. I almost didn't add that.
But you did.
You
I
did.
did.
You so did.
You did. So we were talking about Val, and he passed away, and then Jeff.
Of course.
He
Yeah.
did. And you know what? That's all right.
By the
It's
way,
all fun.
I got to say this. So we listened to the last podcast, Shelly and I, driving back from Austin.
Shelly's his wife.
Yes, driving back from Austin, and you had a couple nuggets in there, and Shelly was like, "What did you do? What?" Like, she was confused. I was like, "Jeff adds that after the fact,
Yeah.
and it's great." And she was like, "Oh my God, that's funny."
Nailed it.
It totally yes. So he adds these little snippets after we record, and it totally works. It totally works.
Post production. We're looking. Hopefully, we bought cameras, so we're hoping to upgrade the podcast.
Yes.
You have to add cameras. I mean, the visual getting on YouTube. I think it enhances what you all
Right.
do.
Right.
And I mean, what we're doing right here, looking at each other, it's so much fun.
Oh yeah.
The camera, you got to do the
Just
camera.
adds the spirit of what's
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Well, I think it brings.
And we're so
in-
good looking.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
We are really good looking.
Yeah, studs.
I mean, the
mean-
more that we drink, man, you guys are looking great.
look at the head. Look at the head on that beer. I'd
Yeah.
be pissed.
Oh, that's
Look at
a
that.
lot of head.
Yeah. Oh,
And look at his face. He's like, "What the fuck, man?"
I'm gonna drinking this
I bet
broth.
I bet him.
So he's a good-looking older dude, by the way. By the way, look at that's the older picture of him.
He looks the same, but
Wow.
gray.
I was gonna say, like normally you look at actors or actresses and you see their older picture and you're like, "What the fuck, man? What happened?"
Those are
Did
women
you know that
mostly.
He's a good-looking dude. That's pretty cool.
The final episode of Cheers was 32 years ago today.
Oh wow!
Holy
Oh my
shit!
God.
Does
And he was
not
in the
hit you
final
gut.
scene
I'm old.
when they were closing the bar.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been very emotional for people who loved that show.
But we watched it.
Mm.
Yeah, I
way,
did.
all the way to the end.
Well, hell,
Yeah.
they didn't have 5,000 networks out there at that time. They had what the standard three, right? ABC, NBC, CBS,
That was-
PBS.
Yeah.
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 Fox started rolling around the corner, and TNT, and then WGN, and all the other.
So his counterpart was a postal worker?
Yes.
Oh, Cliff Clavin.
I don't
Yeah.
think I knew
Cliff
that.
Clavin.
Oh, Cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Cliff Clavin.
And
they made him a
Been in the
postal worker.
postal
He's-
service about 15 years.
He's
eh?
wearing. You did it so well. It's creepy. So they make him wear a uniform and everything. I don't think I realized that. That's crazy.
Hey, I happen to be an expert at the mystology of crystal skulls.
I bet he did. Oh my gosh.
And what's weird was that I think on one of the shows they called for him and his superior knowledge about something, and they were like, "Dude, you're full of shit." And then it turned out he wasn't full of shit. He knew exactly what he was talking about, but nobody knew until that last second.
Right.
And I wish I didn't watch the entire show all the time. And you know what show I've been watching a lot? I just started binge watching. Is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Gilmore Girls.
No,
Yeah, that one was first.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't know if you guys are.
You've talked about that a lot. That's Danny DeVito.
Man,
in
I'm
his second-
telling you, man. I've watched that show a ton. All right, but I haven't watched it for 5-6+ years, whatever. And I popped it in there, season 1, and it's just so freaking funny. And then when Danny DeVito gets in there, it just adds a layer of crackheadness that is just hilarious. I laugh at every single show.
I think we tried to watch it, and maybe we stalled out in the first episode.
It's tough.
The first season is not as good, I don't think.
Is that what it is? So
Well,
you just have
It
to
looks
fight
like
through
it's-
it.
Looks like they're using a camcorder for one thing.
They are. I mean,
The
look, they
production
still
quality.
have the short screen. They didn't have widescreen when it first started.
Yep.
In fact, the widescreen didn't even impact them until like the season. And so it's hilarious. I freaking love it.
So
And they're such pieces of shit, and I fit right in with them. You know.
Oh, well, there we go.
There's the
That's
focus.
why we
Now we
figured-
know.
Right.
Yes.
So if you want to be like Sean, and then watch that
I'm
show.
telling you, it's a great show.
Yeah. Now that we're, I know we're talking about death, basically Norm. The other one is he hasn't died yet, but he has predicted himself to die by summer. Is
Joe Biden?
No,
He's not.
him
He's not.
too.
He's not
Him
predicting
too.
it, but he's not long.
He's not long.
But
Not
it's
long.
what's his name? Scott Adams.
Scott Adams. Yeah.
Yeah, he announced, was it yesterday on a podcast, that he has the same cancer that Joe Biden does, and he basically says, he is expected to die this summer.
And this is the Dilbert comic creator.
comic guy, and
Yeah.
he's actually said that since he lives in California, he's going to take advantage of the
Euthanasia.
Dignified death.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I think once the point where he gets, I don't know what his
You can
decide-
do that?
How
Yeah,
do
in
you,
California you can.
Is that
Like,
the
how
only
do you-
state?
Probably Washington, Oregon, you can, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, Washington, Oregon, and California, I think, are all.
Yeah, in fact, he helped lobby for it. So
Is Dr. Kevorkian still alive?
no, I think this is just a cocktail that they.
No, I mean, but is he still alive?
I don't know.
I don't.
That's a good
I
question.
don't know.
But
I don't
he-
know.
But yeah, he has prostate cancer, and it metastasized, and now he's just in pain every day.
Yeah, he's miserable.
And-
Yeah.
And he's like the whole. And he still does his podcast. In the mornings, and he used to do one at night too, called the Man Cave. And he's just like, I had to quit because it was just so
Too
miserable
painful.
by the end of the
Yeah.
day.
It's got to be tough living in California because only in California do you have listed on every freaking product it gives cancer.
Mm.
It's like, I guess we'll move out of the damn state. It's like everything. This
Yeah.
gives
No.
cancer in California. Well, what about the other freaking 49 states?
Have y'all been out there lately?
I was out there a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God! I mean, I lived in Camp Pendleton, San Diego, and just recently last year went to L.A. and San Francisco. Doesn't even look like the same state.
Really?
It's just it's so crazy. You got people that are homeless that are
Right.
walking the street. It's like
Yeah.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But we have that in Texas too. I mean, Sean and I just
Downtown
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah, downtown
Right.
Austin.
Austin,
Right.
yes.
not to
What
the,
a
not to the impact
cesspool.
that California
No.
has.
Yeah.
But they allow it. But if there's good parts. San Diego. There's some good parts of that. There's Silicon Valley is really clean and nice. We went out there for
Yeah.
a Cowboys game. It was really
Yeah.
pretty, and I enjoyed it.
Well,
But
California's a beautiful state, and
Yeah.
It
it's
is.
unfortunate
it's our
that
treasure. Yeah.
that it's run down to shit.
And it burned to the ground in parts.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
In L.A.
Yeah.
Sacramento, great location. Love the people up there, but
Mhm.
I mean, you just got to look at the silver linings, right? Some places are better than others, but holy crap,
Yeah.
L.A. is a shit
Some of
show.
those
Yeah.
policies have challenged that state.
How, my God!
If I could say it in a very nice way.
yeah. Go ahead, say it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Their policies.
That is the nice way. We're just
The
leaving it cut and
policies are
dry.
challenging.
Yeah.
It's challenging for the people that live
Yeah.
there. Challenging for the people that want to make a difference and change the state.
well, they keep
they can't.
they keep voting for it though.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Is the
It
part.
just keeps happening.
and they complain
It's
about it,
it's
but
a
they keep
weird
voting.
culture.
It's weird.
It's like a suicidal culture.
Why
it's
wouldn't-
this
why-
masochism? You know,
Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't they? How is it that they don't recognize that it's not working? How is
I
that?
think they're dug in, and I say
Yeah.
they.
Is that what
Right.
it is?
I think
Right.
that
I
look.
think so.
Just like they're just dug in, they've made up their mind. Look, it's Gavin
and
Newsom
they
is
can't be
finally,
wrong. They can't be wrong.
Well, I mean,
Like,
look,
it's not
even,
working.
Even the governor is starting to come back and
Yeah. I wonder why.
Well, I mean, he wants to run for president. He wants
Yes.
to try to clear his slate, but
Yes.
But the point is that he's recognized it. He's talking about it, and I think the more that we all talk about these things that we have in common, because you can't
It's a good thing.
disagree with certain things. I mean, you just have to. I mean, we're Americans. Americans should be first.
Americans.
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 God damn it, Bobby.
No,
Boy.
I agree. I agree.
It's just, I'm trying not to dive into this too much. I mean, he was on the Charlie Kirk podcast, and he had some fantastic revelations on there. Just came out and said it. And I don't want
Yeah,
to bring
that
it
was
up
a
because I
very-
don't want to make.
That was actually his podcast.
Yeah,
that was his. That Charlie Kirk was on. That's
Yeah,
right.
Charlie Kirk
and
was
it was
on.
a very unusual pairing.
He got.
I mean, you talk about kind of, I don't want to say arch enemies, but you talk about far left, far
Well, they're
right.
polarized for sure.
And those two guys came together and they talked about stuff.
But Charlie Kirk kept
that's
him in check.
encouraging. But that's encouraging.
He kept him in check because he was keeping it real. It was like, look, man, you've got to.
Well,
he kept him in check. I'll
He
leave it
got
at
a lot of pushback too. Gavin got a lot of flack for saying
even,
those things.
even hosting him.
Even hosted him, but also saying the things that he did.
That he was being
But I think
somewhat
that's-
moderate.
I think that's important, though. I think that it's important that he received the flack because you got to start monitoring who is giving him flack.
Yeah.
Who's actually criticizing this. Pick them out in the lineup. Start recognizing those folks and then call them out. And look, we got to start being more educated. We got to start learning who these bad actors are. And I don't know.
And voting appropriately.
Yeah,
You gotta vote
them out.
appropriately.
You got to start making smart decisions. It's not about. It's about you. It's about your family. It's about God. It's about you and your family and the longevity of what you got going on. And all this other stuff needs to just eviscerate.
Yeah.
Just go away.
Tell you what scares me though is we have a lot of Californians moving here to Texas,
Yeah.
and
We do.
I think, and what I've heard is it's a lot of the conservative folks that are leaving, but I don't think that's 100% of the case because you have a lot of corporations relocating here as well,
Right.
which bring the people with them, which are not always what you want. But
Right.
I think Texas is still fairly red, but if that keeps happening, you're going to start seeing some shifts, I think.
He's purple.
Well, let's talk about this. So, what communities are? I mean, majority red, but we can say Austin's probably
It's
blue.
Oh,
Blue.
Every big
blue.
city is blue,
It
short
is.
of
Yeah.
Fort Worth
San Antonio,
Okay.
Houston, Dallas, and
El Paso.
Austin are all staunchly blue.
and El Paso.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's
Yeah.
just everywhere else is
The
red.
4 major
Okay.
cities are
Yeah.
staunchly blue.
Really?
And that's because they're sucking on the city teat, the
Correct.
state
Yeah.
teat.
It's
you
just
know?
that Texas is so large and there's so many people here that it offsets those cities.
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's the standard story, right? You see the map of Republican and Democrat of the United States, and it's like the tons of red, right, all over the place.
Yes.
But then you see the blue
Blue dots.
in all the
little
major
dots,
the
little
blue dots in the
constellations
cities.
everywhere.
Same thing for Texas. You see a massive red state with
Mhm.
blue, 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 which
Right.
is the 5 metropolitan areas, right?
Yeah,
Which is where all the people are, which is where the majority of the votes come from.
Right.
So that's exactly what California's like.
Yeah.
Except I think more of their population is along the coast where those cities are than here in Texas, right? So their population is more condensed in those cities than it is here in Texas, I think.
True. That's the true statement.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to throw stones at either party because it's yin and yang.
Right.
You need both. You need both to survive because we do need
You need
Democrats
balance. Yeah, you need balance.
and you need Republicans. You need them both.
But I think the Dems went too far.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
is
took
what
it too
happened.
far.
They went too far and they need to come back.
Right.
You know what you hear, these blue dog Democrats. That's what we want back.
Where are they? Where are they? They
They're-
need to get more vocal.
Well, they're still out there, but the progressive.
The blue dog Democrats are now the Republican rhinos.
yeah, no
you
kidding.
know, that's a great
That's
statement.
exactly what it
Yeah.
is.
Well,
That
what-
seems to be that way.
Yeah, the progressives took over the Democrat Party. So when I say Democrat, you're really saying progressives at this point because that's what you hear.
I actually believe that we're in a state in this country where a third party can actually rise.
I could see some weird Ross
And
Perot
what I see-
come out.
So right now we're seeing polarization, a significant polarization, right? A drift to far left and a drift to far right, where this centrist idea from both parties can drift into a party where it's like, dude, come on, man, I'm in the middle, and they can agree, blue middle, red middle,
Those are the
and I can actually see the birth of a third party that is
Maybe-
something like that.
maybe the Whigs will make a comeback.
The wigs, as long as they wear wigs.
Yeah.
Yes, need
Are
a
they
big,
going to wear wigs?
big powdered wig.
Yes. All right. So that's our foray into politics. But let's talk about sports.
Sports.
Let's
Well, you
talk
want some hockey,
Let's
some
talk
football?
about the Dallas Stars, baby.
Oh, Oh, that's soccer.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Goal.
So they.
But I'll tell you what, they're kicking butt.
Dude, they are kicking butt. They won 4-2 in the second round, and they won.
So they played the Colorado Avalanche in the first series.
That's right, and they
Took them
won
to 7.
4-3
in overtime.
in overtime. Oh god,
Yeah, that was quite the
that
game
was
too. To go
crazy.
3-3 and then hit the 7th game and then
Dude.
have them go in overtime.
it was insane.
Yeah.
That's always great. And then
And
they
then-
Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah.
Yes, and Game 6 was dramatic. That it wasn't overtime though, was it?
Yeah, it
yes,
was overtime.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
overtime.
I got to
overtime.
tell you too. On a side note, with just Canadian teams right now.
Oh, boy.
I mean, look, there's some banter going on right now
Yes.
because of the bullshit politics going on between Canada and America, United
Yes.
States, and
yes,
and just the disrespect that they're extending to each other because of the tariffs that Trump is imposing.
I think it's more the 51st state and the governor.
That annexing,
it is.
that whole annexing thing.
it
More
totally
than
is.
anything.
Yeah, well, it rightfully so. I mean,
And
I
you
don't
know,
know.
and you know what's so funny about this is that like Winnipeg in Game 1, I guess it was Winnipeg. They booed the national anthem,
Yeah, not cool, man.
right? Not cool. And what's interesting is they have a ton of Americans on their team,
Wow.
right? Because it's a total blending melting pot in
All
the,
I think
in
is
the
kinda
NHL. Every team has Canadians and Finnish and Americans and this. Every single team has the best talent that's available. And this is not a national thing at all. Now, I get what they do. It was brilliant what they did in the All-Star. They did the 4-team.
Oh yeah,
Four
Are you a hockey
country.
fan?
4 nations.
I'm
Yes.
hockey curious.
Yeah.
So they did during the All-Star
it's-
game.
So let's
yeah.
the
go ahead.
traditional all-star program. That's like like football, hockey, whatever it is. They pull in players from everywhere,
Yeah.
and they just make these teams up, and
They just
then
go
they
east,
go
west,
play.
or-
Yeah, and it's
This one was so
NLL.
cool because they were bringing up, let's do Canada and
Yes.
let's do America.
It's a
It made
foreign
it
nation.
like an Olympic style event.
a 4-nation tournament. So that's our criticism of playoffs of all-star stuff. It's bullshit, right? They don't play
Doesn't
hard.
matter. Doesn't
like
matter.
think about basketball. It's 147 to 141. There's no defense. It's just showmanship, and they're bouncing it off the backboard and dunking it themselves, and it's bullshit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think hockey was necessarily that way, but still, it wasn't competitive.
Yeah,
Now-
but
So then they moved to this 4-nation playoff, and it was,
it became tribal.
dude.
Oh, it came off the hook,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it was like, oh,
And people were into it, and they were like,
take off, eh? I'm coming after you, man.
dude.
Yeah, and they would play different venues.
Poser.
You know, they'd go to Canada, they'd go to New York, they'd
Yes.
go,
It was the real deal. So actually they scored big time in terms of like people watching and people being pumped about it.
Scored a lot of points.
Well, that's when the whole 51st state thing happened as
It
well.
did.
Right.
It
When
really
that
did.
whole
Yeah.
thing started going down, when he started
And-
that, because I remember Canada was booing the U.S. team
They
when
were.
they played.
I mean,
They were.
They're, and this
that's
is one of the
okay.
moments where I kind of like. There are a lot of moments where I'm looking at Trump and I'm like, dude, come
Did
on,
you-
man, just
I agree with you on this one.
stop. Just
Seriously,
stop,
yeah, do you
dude.
seriously need to piss off Canada? They were like our friends. Like,
Yeah,
why
but
would you
at,
do that?
But at the same time, look, their cage needed to be rattled.
he was he
There's
was
some nefarious shit going on up
he
there.
was trolling Trudeau more than Canada.
Yeah.
And Canada just happened to be in the way.
But
Well-
did he affect that election in,
Oh, yeah.
in a negative way for us?
Possibly in a negative way,
I
yeah.
think so.
Although that guy Pierre Poliveau didn't help himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of tie it back to Bourbon,
All right, go.
because I remember seeing footage. I don't know if RD1's in Canada yet, but I remember seeing footage of them, all the liquor stores pulling off all the bourbon off the shelves
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
as a protest.
Did that impact you guys?
Well, so
Oh,
we're having conversations with Canada, with Germany, with China, Japan. Those conversations are still happening.
No kidding.
Yeah. But
Because of tariffs.
because of tariffs, sometimes the conversations have kind of stopped, but we're re-engaging. We're hoping for the best, planning for the worst,
Sure.
and we have to continue to trade. It's going to come back.
For sure.
So for those people that are just like putting their head in the sand, they're going to do what they're going to do. but we're still having those conversations. We'll probably do a couple of white labels in Eastern Europe. We're still looking at outside the U.S. distribution.
For sure.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
huge market.
Canada is not going to go away. Canada is a partner. We're
Yes.
going to work with them. We're going to have distribution up there. You know, I mean, all of this is saber rattling.
Yep.
Yes.
It doesn't. It
What a great word.
So let's just think
Yeah.
about this. Think about this.
Yeah.
In Canada, you got dudes like us
right.
who sit
Oh, yeah.
around and they're drinking bourbon.
Yeah.
And they're really going to go, fuck America, eh?
Right.
No,
No,
that's
they're
not
not.
happening.
No, they're not.
It's like, hey,
Come on.
we're gonna drink this Canadian Club. I don't
Right.
think so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, and no knock
Dude,
against.
I used to bartend, and I remember this was like in the late 80s, and they would like, hey, can I have a CC and Coke? And I'd be like, I was going to say it. I almost said it.
Don't do it. Don't do
Can I have a
it.
CC and Coke? And I was just like, man, I just remember the CNC, the Canadian Club label. That is so
Right.
crazy.
Right.
And nowadays, I wonder what, if I were to have a bottle of that now, it would be what you described as the old whiskeys that would be more butterscotch and caramelly.
But dude, it's been around forever, right? I mean, that's it.
Well, it's a staple.
Ev-
you know?
There's a market for it.
I was gonna say everything has its place,
Right.
Right? I mean, who are we to judge if some old dude's hanging out drinking Canadian Club and 7-Up? Hey, we respect how people enjoy their bourbon, enjoy their whiskey, enjoy their spirits.
Well,
We
there's
do, right?
Well, there's a whiskey company, Found North. Have you heard of them?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of like the Rare Character, except they look for the exceptional Canadian whiskeys.
There you go.
Wow.
And
And they can't find them?
well, no, and I want to find. I joined their mailing list because they have lotteries, and they're old, 17, 20 plus
Yeah.
years old stuff, high proof. I've seen some of the reviews have been
nice.
saying top notch stuff, and
I
it's
don't
all,
think I've seen a high proof Canadian whiskey. That
Yeah.
would be great.
Unobtainium.
yes,
It's a hazmat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's a thing.
Oh, we have to get that.
So I've been
What is it like? What's the hazmat set at? Is it 150?
140.
No, 140. 140 and
140.
above.
And no?
Well, I know,
Yeah.
but what is theirs at?
with the Canadian FAA.
No. I'm not talking about the system. The rules.
This is
okay.
110ish.
So what's wrong
That's
with this?
130 almost.
So zoom
Wow,
out.
that's
That's a 64.
Zoom out a little bit, please. All right. Found North, batch 11, age 18 years,
Yeah.
and it's stout. It's 120.
91% corn though.
Sweet.
That's interesting.
Additives, none.
I wonder.
You know, it's sad that they have
no
to say
Aberon
that.
on that.
Hold on. That's significant that
Well,
they have
in
to say
Canada,
that
I don't think there's any rules
That's
for
right.
Canadian whiskey that
because
you can have.
Crown has additives.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I would like to try it. But what's the sticker price on that, Mr. Producer?
I have no
$1
idea how much
million.
they cost. I've never seen one in the wild.
Oh, so these are the rare. The
This is like the Rare Character of Canadian whiskey.
that is
type
so
stuff.
difficult.
Yeah.
They even have the same rare character kind of tab on the
Bottle.
top to
Yeah,
peel it
they-
off.
Looks like it.
Is it 80 pence?
Yeah.
Like what do they?
They're
I'm
loonies.
sorry. What do they have up there?
Loonies.
What do they have up there?
It's a
Loonies.
Canadian.
Loonies.
Loonies.
Okay, so it's 40 loonies.
Now by the way, we have another rare character bottle. It's sitting in a box at my house.
Yes,
Yes.
it is. It's very expensive.
Can't believe we spent that much. We
No,
spent
I-
almost $300 on this
I-
stupid bottle.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't even remember what the hell it
It's
was.
a single malt, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
Or
better
no,
be.
it was
It
a,
better
it was
be
a,
really good.
It was a weeded whiskey. I remember that.
I don't remember. I put it in a bag and I shoved it. I have a couple cases of the San Pellegrino. I shoved it in an open case so I don't look at it because I don't want to have to drink it.
Yeah, you buried it in the backyard.
Nah, well, dude, we have to look, guys. We got to settle up on this whiskey thing. It's
We do.
yeah, we got to.
So we figured out that each of us owe, I think, about $13,000 each.
Yeah.
from Jeff's
Is
trip to Kentucky when
is
we picked up like 17, 18 bottles.
Yeah.
So when he
Yeah.
comes back, you're looking at
and then we got
60
all.
to 100 something bucks a bottle.
And then we have all the equipment that we bought for the podcast. I mean, that's another.
There's just a bunch. We're
Yeah.
trying to step it up. We're having a good time. But
We're waiting. We're waiting for an angel investor.
You know,
not you. But you talked about an angel investor.
right. I mean,
That's what we're waiting for.
you guys need a hookup. You guys need, somebody that has barrels of bourbon that are like, we're going to sample through each one of these and bring special bourbon down to the podcast.
I like what you're saying.
Right?
A lot. Yes.
I mean, that's great. I mean, we're not against paying for stuff. We don't want shit for free. We would like our podcast to be recognized as for what it is. We're original. We're not full of shit. That's the whole.
No, we are.
Wait.
Yep, there's the challenge flag.
He shoots his scores.
Challenge
He
flag.
one-timed that.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough. That was a great
Thank
challenge.
you, Barry.
Thank you.
Well placed there,
Yes.
sir.
And by
Well
the way,
placed.
you win that challenge because he is full of shit.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, you know what? We all are full
We
of
all
shit
are. We all are.
in these little areas. But the point is that, in fact, we have had a podcast where we say something, and then 10 minutes later, we do the research, and we're like, completely go back on what we say.
Wow, Sean's wrong again.
But that's the whole fun about it, is that we want to talk about it, because if I'm wrong about it, there are millions of people that are wrong about it, because some things make sense and then they don't.
So the best thing, Barry, we'll get into these deep debates. Right? I'll be throwing in stuff. Sean's be throwing in stuff. Jeff's throwing in stuff. Chuck's piping in. And then we find out all of us are wrong.
I do that because when I edit, I'll sit right over there and I'll edit.
Yeah.
And as I'm listening to it,
We're like,
I'll start researching.
we're all
I'm like,
idiots.
Nope.
we were all wrong.
It's literally so bad. And then there's one dude listening in his car, his
Screaming at
old
us.
Ford truck. Right? He's driving down some country road going, y'all a bunch of fucking idiots.
Humbled.
Yes. 100%.
That
100%.
podcast is crushable.
Yes.
But we sound good. We think we're right, so we sound it.
So,
We're confident.
it's so
Just
hilarious.
be confident.
Yes.
As long as you're confident.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So walk us through. I want to chat a little bit about the world of whiskeys. You guys participate in that, right?
All right.
Yeah. So the world of whiskeys, I love it. I love having people come in from all over the world. But the problem is that, when we look at consumerism, people are kind of pulling back a little bit.
Right.
And the world of whiskeys is kind of expensive. For a brand, it's $2,500 minimum just to get my brand in there. And the people that are attending are kind of waning a little bit. I want to go where the people are.
Right.
And so, for me, I love the world of whiskeys. I want to support it, but the problem is it's kind of expensive.
Well, I've got another problem.
Bang for your buck, right?
I got another problem. So we went to the one where we met you guys.
Yep.
And your team out there.
Yep.
And the one they've got scheduled this year in Dallas, outside.
In August or July.
In July.
It's
outside.
The
Sunday.
worst. The worst.
In July.
outside.
In an outdoor venue.
Ouch.
And
On a Sunday.
on a Sunday.
On a Sunday.
Did
I got to go to work on Monday.
I mean, what are these fools thinking?
So
Damn.
he sent an email. Did you get a response?
No, I didn't get a response. No, I didn't send just an email. I sent texts, email, social media, not one single reply.
I wonder why.
Dude,
Yeah.
look, I get it. I was a little abrasive, but at the same time, it's facts.
Imagine being a 24-year-old intern and you're monitoring the
What
social
the
media,
hell?
and here's this dude going, dude,
No,
outside
I was just like, look,
in the middle of summer
This
in
is Texas. I mean, what the
Right.
hell? I mean,
Yeah.
what are they
It's hot.
thinking?
It's hot
It's like-
down here.
And you got a bunch of fat fucking 50-year-olds out
Right.
there saucing it up.
Yeah.
I was like, we're all going to die.
You're gonna need to have some emergency vehicles
Come on, man.
hand.
Can I get an IV?
Yeah. on a roller, so you just walk with it.
No, look, and I got to tell you, the world, the event that we went to and we participated was great. The actual place fucked up all the food, where they were bringing all this great food out, but they
Right.
had no utensils, and people were like manhandling the fruit and shit.
They
And
were.
Don't touch my food.
Oh my God, it was Neanderthalic. It was crazy. I mean, but it was a great event. I enjoyed being there, and I'd love to do it again. And I wish they really would hold it at the same place again.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they did it downtown Dallas at the farmers market. That's what it is. It's a farmers
Right.
market.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
Open. It's a metal pole building with
It's just an
open
awning.
open sides.
Basically an awning.
I wasn't sure if they were trying to downscale to where it wasn't so much to host it, or if they ran out of.
Maybe
maybe
it
they
costs too
ran-
much.
Maybe they ran out of time and they didn't like.
I don't know.
I don't know.
There are so many venues out there. There are so many. There are so many
Yeah.
opportunities. They could have done anything. Read the room.
They messed up.
Read the room. Read the
Right.
state. Read the
Right.
time. And it's just the fact that they didn't respond, even like just a little bullshit. Oh, sorry. Maybe we'll catch you next year at a different venue. There
Right.
was zero response.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Mm.
So, I mean, look, I get it. The venue was expensive for you guys to even participate.
Right.
But to me, it sounds like they don't even care.
Right.
They're just like, let's just
Right.
pack this up in a box and ship it out and see what sinks or swims.
Well, but you're on the do not reply list.
whatever.
So I think if
X'd out.
Yeah, I think if Jeff had seen
Man,
it,
look,
it might have been
I
different.
wasn't that bad. I read you guys what it was. It wasn't too horrible. All I said were the facts. Hey, man, is there any room to wiggle? Is there any?
Right.
I mean, is this
Can
real?
you enclose it?
I asked, is it climatized? Do they have defibrillators? I mean, there was
Yeah.
these.
Are there nurses on call?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I have a 60% chance of dying at this event, so help me out here.
This is like going to a Foreigner concert in downtown Dallas in the middle of August. You know, Jesus, man,
We did that too. August 15th, 2 years ago, we went to go see the Foreigner cover band.
Yes,
Oh
we
my
did.
God.
And it's outdoors. And
it was so
sucked.
fucking hot. I had to get. I got so hot. I had to get up and walk around. I was like,
Wow.
I'm going to pass out.
Wow.
Do you
It was
do
bad.
concerts? Do you do
Yeah.
old bands like
yeah.
your nostalgic bands or what?
I mean, I'm an old guy, so I love older music. Love it, but again, my bedtime is. I'm past my bedtime now. Typically 9:00. I'm in bed, but love music. Love going to concerts and seeing older bands.
Like Fats Domino or something like that.
I found my thrill.
Yeah. What hold on.
Yeah.
What does that look like in Kentucky? In Lexington?
So-
Who
so-
comes to Lexington?
Now, I mean, it's kind of dominated by country and western.
Of course.
Chris Stapleton.
Nice.
But I'm old school.
Medeski, Martin, and Wood.
Yeah. Foreigner. Jethro Tull. That was the first concert I saw.
there you go.
Back in the back in the day.
The rock,
like
the
that
rock
guy.
flautist.
I like that guy. Jethro Tull.
Flautist.
That guy.
Yeah. Love music.
He had a recorder. Didn't he have a recorder?
No, he was a flautist, man. He was a
flute.
full-on flautist. No, this wasn't preschool, man. What the hell?
That's a taxi theme.
By the way, you on the last podcast put in a recorder, a recorder recording or whatever that is. I was like, dude,
That did sound like the taxi theme.
I busted out when you.
It was so bad
All
sounding.
right, move on.
Oh, greatness! All right, sorry. Go back. So, what's the last concert you've been to? Ooh.
Yeah, man, you're challenging me.
Well, because you've been on the road for
Yeah,
something.
I have no.
That's a lot, man.
I have no life. I mean, I have a great life, but it's all bourbon. It's all meeting, guys like you all and drinking. I mean, here we're on a podcast. We're drinking Stagg. We're
Yeah.
drinking a barrel pick of Stagg from Total Wine.
Oh, he just did that.
Holy crap.
Let's talk about it. You
I
just did
love it. Yeah. So
All right, well, we pulled it up. Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
let's talk about this. What is the proof? It's 133 proof.
Damn.
I've already sampled this twice.
It's the bomb.
This is a shit.
It really is.
sir.
Yeah.
It's got. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Jumping from the RD1 to this, they're two different animals.
Yeah.
Completely.
And this one's got a set of nuts.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste like 130 proof.
Dude, I get maple syrup hardcore
Yep.
on this nose.
Very sweet,
Oh yeah, there's a lot of sweetness to it.
but a lot of ethanol, a lot of
sweet,
proof.
rich. It's got to breathe like a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, you could feel the proof on this one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one where you may want to drop a drop or two of distilled water in it to dumb it down a little bit. I
Yeah.
wouldn't, but
I
some
wouldn't.
may.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
But if people are offended by the ethanol, that is what I would recommend.
Right.
A couple drops.
Not to
Right.
be manly here, but I didn't even realize I've been drinking it for the whole. No, I've been drinking it. I've been sipping it, and I did not realize it was 100 and what? 100 and
33.
Or
no,
33.
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't because we are conditioned now. Everything's burned off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's burned off from the nostrils down to the rectum.
So let's
We're pros.
Wow.
rectum.
Yeah,
Jesus,
all the way
man.
down.
Oh.
All the way down, man. It's burned off.
There's a story there.
Oh, no, Father Jerry's really whipped me out.
Exit only. Exit only, gentlemen.
It's called butt
Exit
chugging,
only,
right?
Dad. Oh, no.
It's a butt luging. or-
Exit only. Let's not get crazy.
Anyway, so Stagg, it's a Stagg. Jesus.
Oh, we're spitting over here.
We're good.
We good?
We just killed
Okay.
Barry.
Yeah.
All right. All
That's
right.
funny, though.
Yeah.
So the Stagg Junior 133 proof Kentucky Straight Bourbon Barrel boasts a complex profile with the tasting notes, including sweet flavors. Very sweet.
Yes.
Very sweet. The
Chocolate.
nose.
Yeah.
Tons of spice.
And that's crazy. How can it be sweet with 130 something proof? Come on.
It's unfiltered.
That's crazy. This is amazing.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
A big fan. for
Where did
me.
we get this bottle, by the way? Do you
Total
remember?
Wine. Total Wine.
I mean, but how long ago?
I think this was one where,
Wow.
hey, go. And I was circling Total Wine, and I ran in and got it.
So Barry, let me share with you some of our processes. So
Yeah.
we go to different liquor stores and we try to we keep ourselves acquainted with folks and we're on a text list. So when something comes in, I'm not naming people, but when something comes in, they're like, "Hey, you might want to be here in 15 minutes," and so we send out the bat.
Yeah, we have an emergency alert.
Yeah, and just like I'm circling right now.
I've been here since 8:40.
Yes, just waiting.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
But it's funny because we get these alerts sometimes, and then we show up and it was there, and
That's
boom, we're in
yeah.
there. We're,
That's insane.
like the Coy Hill, the Jack Daniel's Coy Hill.
Oh,
Love it.
dude.
Oh my
love
god!
That was another one, yeah.
I
Yeah.
went in there and we got the bat alert, and I went in there. Stan, shout out to Stan.
Yeah.
Stan's the one that hooked us up. So we went in there, and he's like, he just handed me a box, and there were 2 of the Jack Daniels in there. He said, "Don't open it. Don't even look at it. Just take the box to the front, have them check it out, and leave."
Thank you, Stan.
I love
That's
the
what
alert.
I said.
I love the alert. Houston. Do we have
I
any?
love it.
Do
I
we
love-
have any? Do you have any assets in the area? Over.
Assets en route. Assets en route.
And he's
It is funny 'cause that's
asset
exactly
one
what
is
we are.
circling. Asset one is circling.
So
over.
shout out to the Total Wine, Kevin, and Stan's up at Sips. And Sips,
Yeah.
from what I understand, out in McKinney, Texas, they're not. How should I say this? Business could be better.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We haven't
Yeah.
visited him in a while.
yeah.
We need
Well,
to-
you know
we need
what?
to
It's
visit.
it's not near our stomping grounds.
It
You know,
isn't.
and frankly, they're having a hard time. Are you familiar with Sips out there?
No.
So Sips is a mom and pop store.
It's around
in McKinney?
Virginia and what? Ridge?
Yeah,
Virginia
Ridge.
and Ridge?
It's in McKinney. It's in McKinney,
okay.
about northeast of here, about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And it's a small liquor store, and they sell wine and liquor. And the guys there are great.
It's
They
a
really
nice-
are great.
It's a nice sized store too.
It is nice, but
It looks like a
rents-
great location.
It's a great a great location.
yeah, sorry.
But rent's expensive.
yeah, it's in a good
Everything's
place.
expensive, and
Yeah.
they're doing everything they can to stay afloat.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things, man. They're just kind of the cards are falling, and
Right.
they're throwing Hail Marys out. And
Right.
Stan shared last night that he doesn't know much longer they're going to be open, and
Wow.
they're just they don't have all this. Like he was like struggling. Like we're trying to get Wild Turkey 101, and we can't even get that.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
Damn.
and they do have great product because we bought some product from them.
We
but,
have.
yeah, whatever, man. I feel bad, but at the same time, it was a great venue. And Stan is a great person. He
Yes.
is he's a vault of information when it comes to whiskeys too. You could ask that guy anything.
Maybe they should do those dark erotic tours that
yeah.
Barry was talking
yeah.
about.
You say erotic?
I like erotic. I think we've got a new dimension here.
Maybe I misunderstood.
No.
Maybe
you know what? I'm running with it.
little goth erotic.
Maybe the thespians will be nude as they do their act.
They have a bourbon spray.
Yes.
That they just kind of.
So check us out on Dudes Like Us podcast on Facebook and Instagram for the latest posts and to find out what we drank tonight. This is the May 20th, in case you guys want to check us on here. Put that subscribe and like button. We have Barry Griniger.
Are we
Brinegar?
Are we wrapping up right now?
No. I just want to say this is it's in the middle. It's in the middle.
Okay.
And I just want to say, Barry's here talking with us. If you guys don't remember,
dude, and this has been a lot of fun. I'm so glad you're on the podcast.
I mean, how much bourbon have we had that is like top of the line? My God, I need to come back tomorrow.
We're pretty spoiled.
Yeah.
We really do. We
Yes.
pride ourselves. Look, like what Paul was mentioning on the first half of the podcast, we'd buy 3 bottles each. So we got our collection by buying a bottle each, and a bottle would be $30-50
Every
$50
week.
every week. And
Yeah.
it was like boom, boom, and then we started building it up, and we got to a point where we started liking the more expensive stuff. I was like, well, you know what? I can't afford to buy that every week.
Right.
So we started dividing the cost by 3.
Right.
So
Yes.
now we're buying a bottle every week, and we don't care what the price is. It could be $150,
Right.
because $150 is way less
Than what we were paying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets a little ridiculous. And
It was very much an evolution.
yeah,
But
it-
you need
Very much.
You need a backup. I mean, one bottle, you open it, it's gone. I mean, you got to have a backup.
Yeah.
yeah,
so
but it's tough. We don't have deep pockets, and when we get sponsors or
Yeah.
folks like you that come out that.
Angel investor.
We're waiting
Angel
for
investors.
angel
Yeah.
investors. That's the key word.
Well, it's baby steps, and frankly, we're
Yeah.
kind of stupid when it comes to setting ourselves up for success with these types. I mean, we want to say that we've got the talent, we've got the chemistry, and
We've got the bodies.
technology.
We got the bodies in the face.
Right.
It takes more than that.
So you need a Mike Tedderton that says you're not asking for enough money. That's what you guys need.
That's what we need.
Yes.
And then boom, we're Joe Rogan-esque.
We wouldn't even look. We're just wanting to have fun with this.
We are.
And if
We
we
are.
can get some, if we can get some compensation, if
Yeah.
we get some sort of kickback or something,
Yeah, you don't do this for 5 years without getting paid, without loving what you do.
Right.
Yeah, and we do.
Right.
And this is
Right.
it. We're hobbying this shit to death.
Yeah.
And we do have
Gotta love it.
1,000 to 2,000 folks who listen every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
And then we're international now.
yeah, we do.
We got people in Bulgaria,
Yeah.
Ireland,
Thailand.
Finland, I don't know,
Uzbekistan.
Mexico.
Kazakhstan.
We have guys in Canada. I've got a couple guys
Canada.
in video game.
Oh,
with up in
Canada.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We love Canada.
And we got banned
Yeah.
in Romania.
And for
did?
some reason,
We got banned in Romania.
yeah.
See, hey, we're doing something right when we get banned in fucking Romania.
Romania said you're out.
Yeah.
Did not pass the smell
Yeah,
test.
we're like, you know what? Romania sucks. Fuck, we got banned.
No, it actually had to do with when we post stuff on YouTube, because we upload our stuff, and when it gets sent over to YouTube,
Yeah.
YouTube has this
Yeah.
different network of. They groom all your stuff. They listen to
Yeah.
what you say
Right.
by these bots, and if you say something like, "Oh, the COVID was a farce" or whatever that is, they're like, "Oh, you guys broke some
Nah.
rules." Well, we actually, for Romania, the specific
Yeah.
things was we
It
were
was
doing the
Chuck.
top 10.
Yeah, Chuck played
songs.
something too long.
No, it was-
Chuck's
We were
fault.
doing the one-hit wonders of the 80s or something,
Yeah.
something similar to
No,
that.
it was Olivia Newton-John.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So
I love
were
her.
we were playing
Me,
songs.
yeah, so does Chuck, and he played it for like an hour.
You want me to play it again?
No, we were playing songs, and because if you play a song for a certain time frame, they'll flag it, and
Yeah.
then you have to have the authority to play that song during your thing.
Yeah, it was like infringement type.
Yeah.
And so
thing.
Romania complained. Someone there complained.
Not even
and-
Australia. You would think Australia would
Romania.
complain.
Yeah. Romania, you suck.
Yeah? Great. You know what? We just got unblocked. You just fucked it up for us. Thanks a lot, Barry.
That
We
took me
just got unblocked.
3.5 years of work.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
blocked again.
That's okay. We'll meet with them again.
Whatever. It's so crazy. Some of these rules that you got to play with. It's sort of like RD1 spirits when you're trying to follow these rules that the government wants you to do and crossing your I's and dotting your T's. I know I said that backwards on purpose.
You totally
but
did.
my point is that even like the color scheme. Who was here? It was the Mike's Big Sticks.
Big Stick.
Yeah,
Right.
Big Sticks
No,
from
plural, not
Big
plural.
Stick.
Big Stick. Yeah.
Big Stick Whiskey was out here
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and he was saying how difficult it is to get some of this
Yes.
literature
All
past.
the hoops you have to jump
Yeah.
The
through.
bottles, you can't do that. It looks
Yeah.
a certain way. The
Right.
font has to be a certain size. And I'm like, why
Right.
the fuck does it matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
does it matter? Why? Who are you to tell me what I can't put on here? How does that offend anybody? Oh, it's got to fit a criteria. Why?
Yeah.
So did you have to deal with all that?
The government, I mean, everything that we do, it has to pass through TTB. We have to submit, and if there's no safety on a wood finish, then we have to show them that it's safe for consumption. I mean, I get it. You want to protect the consumers.
Yeah.
But
How did you get black walnut through that then?
we did not. Black walnut, I'm still chewing on it.
Okay. Yeah,
So no red dye.
somehow
number,
you convinced them that it was safe. I don't know how you
no
did
red
that.
dye number 40. Or,
No.
No maraschino cherries.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a really dumb question, but there's so much history involved.
There's
Have you
no dumb questions. There's only dumb people.
I love
Oh,
that. I love that. And there are three of them right here at the table.
Oxford.
Four.
Okay, five. Another dumb person. That's great. All right, so much history. Any ghost stories in the bourbon industry?
Ghost.
Yeah, I know
Like
it's a dumb.
spirits?
Yeah, like a dumb.
Well, you're talking about possession.
Yeah, I mean,
no, really. Like,
Yeah.
do they ever talk about like haunted this or haunted that or no ghost stories at all anywhere in the bourbon industry?
Not that, off the top of my head. No.
Because we went to Irish bars. Remember
no,
that?
they came to us.
Yeah. Well,
the Celt was with us.
so
There were
there's-
Irish bars that had haunted stories, right?
Yeah, so there are some like okay. So we had Stan and the other guy on from the Celt, downtown McKinney. Nick. We had Stan and Nick on from
Yeah.
Nick is like the manager, head bartender, and Stan's the owner of the Celt downtown. And they were talking about how they had some spiritual sixth sense kind of stuff
dude.
going on.
But there was a
there
lot
were
of history.
glasses. Things were happening. So the story is that there was a murder there or death there, or I think it was a murder.
Yeah.
And it happened. No, it was a suicide.
It was a brothel. That place was a brothel.
was a brothel.
And it was a brothel
Red
at
light.
one point.
It was a brothel in the 1800s.
Yeah. So there's a lot of history going on there. And what the story was is that glasses were moving.
No, they were flying off the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually, I think he had some footage.
Video.
And they made Ghost Hunters, the TV show, I think, or one of those Ghost Hunter shows. And there's footage of the shit flying off like the top shelf where all the booze is. The
Yeah.
glasses flying off the shelf. So
nothing that you've ever heard of in the bourbon industry. You're connected.
No.
Really?
No.
So you're referring to like old school bars and some
Yeah.
crazy stories like that.
Everything.
Well, that's
Yeah.
got to be the Celt. I mean, you see what is that? What you said? The ghost, not Ghostbusters, but the
Ghost Hunters.
the ghost hunters. I mean, I haven't seen or heard any bars.
Mm-mm.
I'm really surprised. I would think that there's some sort of stories here and there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much histories, like hundreds of years of history.
No. I mean, off the top of my head, there's no there's nothing possessed. There's no ghost.
No.
No, there's just alcohol.
Just alcohol.
Yeah, there's just distilled spirits.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, that hit the dead end. So
It did.
wah,
but hey,
wah.
I was fishing.
yeah, but it is an interesting story from the Celt downtown McKinney of that. And
yeah.
I think that
You
there's
love
some
that shit.
weird.
You love that
I mean,
shit.
look. First of all, I've had. I don't want to say I've had experiences because that's not true. But I've woken up feeling influenced by some weird shit going
like
on.
a woman, like hovering over you with a knife.
Did you go to the
Only
bathroom?
Zool.
That would be your wife, by the way.
Did you go to the bathroom and like rip your face off?
No,
Like
it's
a-
not
Oh,
like
nice.
that.
Nice.
It's,
You
it
start
just,
picking at your face.
dude,
Yes.
I had some crazy dreams, and I don't know what the hell it is. Maybe because I couldn't breathe. Maybe because I had a CPAP machine. Because frankly, I haven't had any of those dreams since I've had my CPAP machine. And so
Those are probably near-death experiences.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because my wife came downstairs one time because my wife and I, we haven't slept together for like a decade, because I snored. It was so bad. It was pathetic.
Yeah.
And I got a CPAP machine a year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever. And I've been sleeping in my bed now and everything's great. But it's just that there was a time where I remember waking up and I would be like, help me. And I couldn't like say it. My wife came downstairs and was like, you kept saying help you. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because I remember it was just a weird dream, but all that shit went away, and it
Were
has to
there
do.
pygmies all over you?
No, that was your.
And they were taking strings and tying you down.
What is the big giant laying on the
It's the
ground?
Gulliver's Travel.
Yes, it was
All right, let me
Shonovan's trouble.
provide some context here to what Paul's referring to. So we went out to the Rebel. There's a bar up the street, right, where we go and listen to 80s tribute bands.
It was my 50th birthday.
It was
your
at his
50th
house.
birthday?
It had nothing to do with Revel.
No, we went
ended
out.
up at the Revel.
We went to the Revel. We had a good time. We were on our way home, and then you get disgruntled
Yes, I did.
for whatever, and he decides he's going to walk home
You're damn
in a
right.
drunken stupor.
Because I know I'm geographically,
So-
I have an inside compass.
So he
Yeah.
lives. He
It
lives.
failed.
direct-
Gestalt.
He lives west.
Yeah.
He went north.
no, sort of.
He shot an azimuth.
He went 90 degrees to where he should be going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Essentially,
I really
and
did.
we've given him such a hard time because
He
he's
ended
like,
up
I
in
don't
a
know.
field, like
I
rolling
went,
around
I
in
went
mud.
through like where animals were, and I was falling and climbing over
He had
barbed
like
wire.
mud all over his jeans.
Done.
Yeah, it
Done.
was a shit show. And I met my shaman.
Yeah, we said he got lost out there and met his shaman.
And that's the joke, that I was with the pygmies of Frisco, with the shaman, and yeah, that was the
All right, well,
that was the story.
did you guys hear? Was there like a jailbreak? What city was that in?
New Orleans.
Was it New Orleans?
That's right. He went to Bourbon Street. Here this guy breaks out of jail. He goes to Bourbon Street.
No.
I mean,
One of the
really?
guys that was caught?
Was he
Yeah.
still in his orange jumpsuit?
Oh gosh.
Really? Are you being serious?
Can you imagine? I mean, seriously, you're gonna go to where all the tourists are, all the police officers are, and you're gonna get arrested. Holy shit!
So 10 of them escaped, and at this point, right now, only 4 have been recaptured.
Ouch.
6 are still out there, and they're dangerous.
Yeah.
These aren't like these aren't like misdemeanor people.
Well,
These-
they only murdered one person.
These are
Oh.
like these are attempted murderers, like bad people. So
Yeah.
that's not good.
Well, they cut a hole in the wall, right? They
No.
showed.
So it
was an
exactly
inside job, right?
well,
Yes.
yeah, it was. So there was a maintenance guy there who
And he
had
was arrested.
he was arrested, but his part was he turned off the plumbing for a certain section, and what that allowed them to do was to remove a toilet because the toilet had the back tank that was against the wall. When they removed the toilet, they basically cut the drywall out,
Right.
and they went right through the wall. Because
Yeah.
there's in between a wall is 16 inch on center. You have 14 and a half inches to crawl through.
I wondered that. They said he shut off the water, the inside guy. I was like, why would that make any difference? That's why.
That's why
They cut through pipes, and if the water was on, then that would be
it would have
obvious.
spewed everywhere, and they made out. And there's no cameras on the inside, which kind of brings up some other things that they need to take care of.
Very.
But there were cameras on the outside where the ramp was, where they exited.
You see them all run.
Yeah, that was
They
just
did.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, if you watch the video,
Yeah.
the outside video, they're just like scrambling like a. That brings up another question though. So, Epstein.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we're talking about in prison and
Right.
cameras in prison.
Well, that is kind of curious because Posh
Exactly. They just
Cash
came
Patel
out.
and Dan Bongino came out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And said what, Chuck?
Well, they basically said there's no evidence that he didn't kill himself.
That's right. They basically, because there was
They quashed that whole
conspiracy theories about him not killing himself, that he was murdered because they turned the cameras off. And
So you're saying there's no evidence that he killed himself?
that he didn't.
They
kill himself.
looked.
That's like a double negative.
it does. Well, I'm just trying to say there's no evidence that there was foul play other than he
Correct.
killed himself.
Bongino and Cash said clearly he killed himself.
Okay.
Unequivocally killed himself. No one else killed him.
Well, you know what?
So
there you go.
How do we respond to that? Because that was a major thing we talked about for a lot.
Well, I mean, because you have all this weird shit going on in the Clinton administration. I say the Clinton administration, meaning Hillary. You know.
Well, it was the whole situation, right? So the camera got moved. The
Very
prison
suspicious.
guards.
The guy's asleep.
Yeah, the prison guards weren't watching, and
He was in the kitchen area making his turkey pot pie.
Very suspicious.
so
Well, whatever. It's over,
Apparently.
done with.
Yeah.
But you know what? We've got better things to move on to. So we've got summertime stuff. Yeah, I mean we got it's
vacations coming up.
hot. Got vacations coming up. So what is the schedule?
Somebody
for you guys
has the
coming up?
summer off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah, but what do we got going on for the next couple of weeks?
I've got class. I do have class. I need the end of
Maybe
next
were
week.
you in town or we're leaving?
I'll be leaving in June, so I'll be gone for a couple weeks in June.
All right, like the second week, third week.
I think around the 7th or 8th is when we plan on leaving.
Okay, very good. You'll be gone a week or two.
I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Nice.
And I'm going to Nicholasville.
Are you going?
Kentucky.
Is that the same time?
That's what we just talked about.
Yes.
Is that the same time?
18th through the 22nd.
Holy crap! So we'll be no podcast for 3 weeks.
Dang.
No. Mine's
his over the
a
weekend.
Thursday through Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And Mr. Barry's going to hook me up with the greatest dark tour ever.
I'm going to hook
It's
you
gonna
up.
be so dark.
Dr.
So
Wood.
dark.
So dark.
Dr. Wood's in the house.
Are you really going to hook me up?
You know it.
Dude, I'm so excited.
Make sure you
Yeah.
have lots of wood jokes.
Love
Can
it. Wow.
Knock, knock.
Can I be a third wheel?
No.
Is this going to be like a romantic getaway?
It's totally romantic.
Can I be a third wheel?
No.
I'll have my own room.
We're going to be so romantic. It's an erotic dark tour.
All
but-
nude.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
Jeez Louise.
That's the music. So
All right, so this is the second
we're-
half of
We're
the
supposed to
podcast.
wrap this up. Barry, you didn't talk about your summer plans. Do you have summer plans?
Travel.
Travel.
And more travel. Sell cases. Meet people. Drink bourbon.
So
We're-
when you travel, do you travel 4 days out of the week?
I've got 2 weeks straight sometimes. Sometimes it's four days
Oh, so
out
you
of a
spend
week.
you don't go
Yeah.
back home for the weekend.
Sometimes I don't.
How long have you been doing this?
A couple of years now. The
It's
travel.
got to be
You know
taxing.
That's not sustainable. You know that, right?
I know. My wife is like, holy shit.
For real.
When are you coming home?
For real.
Right.
So is there a
Right.
plan there?
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
You
see.
got to have a
get
Barry
there.
Jr.
Yeah. Little berries coming out.
All right.
All right.
We're not that drunk yet.
Well, so to wrap this up,
Yeah.
we are so thrilled that you came
Yeah, thank
on the
you.
podcast.
Thank you. Thank
your
you, guys.
story is amazing. Your
Love it.
company is amazing. Your
Product.
bourbon is amazing. We love it.
Love it. Come see us in Kentucky.
I am planning on it.
Love it.
Any last comments?
No, I think we're good.
We're good.
All right. Well, May 20th, second half of the podcast. Check us out on Dudes Like Us Facebook or Instagram. It's a Dudes Like Us -podcast or Woodcraft. Thank you, Chuck, as usual, for staying on top of shit. Dudes Like Us, I am Sean
I am Paul.
I am Jeff.
I'm Barry.
Yes, you
All
are.
right.
from RDS1 Spirits.
Yes, sir. Woohoo! Last challenge.